If you would like to increase your natural testosterone levels and ensure you're in great shape, you feel great in life, and obviously the best ever, then please keep watching, find out, and you'll be walking away with a great big smile on your face. What's up YouTube, it's Stephen here from Carter Fitness and Nutrition. So today's video will be based on how to boost your natural testosterone. Okay, so these are the best ways you can boost your natural testosterone without having to touch anything that's obviously overly performance enhancing or is going to increase your testosterone unnaturally. So we'll start with the first one. So tip number one. Increase your sleep. Okay, so make sure you are sleeping enough. So about 7 to 8 hours per night, maybe 9. Don't push it too far because the longer you sleep, the more tired you will feel. Anywhere below 6 hours of sleep can detrimentally affect your testosterone. Usually over a period of about a week of 5 hours sleep can impact it by minus 100 points. Okay, so be sure to keep up on your sleep. Tip number 2, manage your stress levels. Now ensure that your stress is down in the low end. So stress level, obviously stress is coming from the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that is obviously what stress basically increases. Okay, so for example, when you have higher testosterone, or you've got higher dopamine, or you've got higher endorphins, that is the good side, that's the happy side. But then when you got the cortisol, that's the part where you're angry. Okay, you're angry, you feel like you're really down the dumps, you're very stressed out. That will then lower your natural testosterone production, and that can also increase your adrenaline, which is also temporary. So your best bet is to make sure you stay on top of managing your stress levels. Now, how do you do that? Well, do something you enjoy. For example, if you like to play football, play football. Being in the gym, if that increases your dopamine, then do that. If you if you have to increase your calories because being too low of a drastic deficit can also increase your cortisol levels, then be sure to eat more. Okay. Yes, so manage your stress levels by eating well, staying physically active, and just enjoying life in general. Tip number 3, testosterone boosting foods. Now, these are the foods that will naturally increase your testosterone levels. So basically you eat these and you will gradually gain up in points of how much testosterone you can increase per food. This also means how much of it you eat. So if you just eat a little piece of it, it ain't gonna do much effect. Okay, so so number 1, ginger. Ginger is a spice, same family as like paprika, cinnamon, turmeric. Okay, making sure you've got enough ginger in your meals is a great way of ensuring that you can keep your testosterone levels in a good maintenance range. But yeah, so usually most spices are pretty good at doing so, but just ensure you keep up on your ginger. 2 to 3 meals per day should be enough. Okay. Your next one will be pomegranate. Pomegranate is a fruit, obviously. It is found as a tropical fruit. It's not the pomegranate on the outside, it's the seeds that are inside the pomegranate. Okay, so you just get them out by putting it, chopping it, put it in a nice big bowl of water, and you take out the seeds that way and just place them in the bowl. Refrigeration can last up to 4 to 5 days, maybe longer, it depends on your fridge. So pomegranate, great way of increasing it. Doesn't matter if it's drink form or you can eat it straight from the bowl, add it to your porridge in the morning, do whatever you want, but ensure that if you do have pomegranate, don't overdo it. Your next one's oyster. Now, why is oyster on the list? Well, oyster is, yes, maybe not the most tasteful thing, But oyster also has a high amount of zinc. As we all know, zinc is a great way of increasing your testosterone, like magnesium, like selenium. So yeah, so because oysters high in zinc and lots of other minerals, it is able to increase your testosterone levels naturally by about 100, maybe a little beyond that if you are consuming it on a daily basis. Your next one is onions. Now you wouldn't expect that. Onions are incredible. Taste good, they make your foods taste brilliant. So even if you add it as a herb, put it on your chicken, you can do so. Having onions, in fact, actually does increase your energy levels as well. But it has been proven by science that onions have the capability of adding 200% of testosterone. So that's double the amount of testosterone you can have in a short period of time. That's insane. Okay, so keep up on your onions. And which onion would you ask? Red onions have got more of an effect. Brown onions a little bit less, not much, but red onions are more of a effective way of boosting your testosterone. Then you've got the greens. So spinach, kale, lettuce, broccoli. So not just leafy greens, but green vegetables. Okay, so keep up on those because yes, because they're high in those form of carbohydrates. They're high in certain minerals. They also contain bits of zinc. They're high in selenium. So bringing up in the list as well, you know, your green beans and peas. Okay, so keep up on your greens. Ensure you're getting enough of your nutrients from your greens. Keep up on your vegetables because that is a big key to gaining higher testosterone. Extra virgin olive oil. Okay, why is that on the list? Well, obviously it's healthy in high fat. Okay, so it's got high fat content. Just be sure to measure out your olive oil. Don't consume too much because olive oil has a lot of calories. It's very dense. It's about 113 calories per tablespoon. A lot of calories. So just by putting 1 tablespoon in 5 meals, that's already over 500 calories worth of olive oil. It's mad. Okay, so be sure if you have olive oil, make sure to measure it out. Be mindful of how much you use and perhaps move on to spray for the rest of them. The next one on the same family group, obviously in the fat range when it comes to macronutrients, is salmon. So salmon is also high in healthy fat, but not only that, it's also high in like magnesium, manganese. Okay, it's got good amounts of, you know, it's got some zinc in there. You know, you can't go wrong really. It's very high in vitamin D as well. Vitamin D is very crucial. Great for the skin, obviously great for the overall feeling, great for the energy production. Okay, so be sure to have your salmon once a day, a couple times a week, however way you prefer to have it. And finally, the last one is so dairy free or dairy products. Okay, so ones high in vitamin D, such as almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk. And then you move on to the dairy foods like cheddar cheese. Be sure to go for the moderate range, not for the low fat or the high fats, somewhere in the middle. So you got milk, obviously semi-skimmed, red milk, high in vitamin D. Don't go for too high because, like I said, you don't want to be gaining body fat, so you want to try and keep on the low end of calories. Okay. But yeah, yogurt, Greek yogurt, really good. But yeah, spacey dairy, high in vitamin D. Okay. Calcium wise, calcium also has some contribution, but not much. Calcium is more for maintenance, teeth and bones and muscles more. But overall, vitamin D, if that's what you're looking for, dairy is a good choice to go for. Right, tip number 4, supplements. So what supplements would I recommend to increase your natural testosterone? So, number 1, vitamin D. Vitamin D, like mentioned in the foods, vitamin D is crucial because it is great for your skin health, great for your eye health, great for your bone health, great for muscle health. It's great for your entire body. Being out in the sun for at least 30 minutes per day has the ability to increase testosterone by 20%. Okay, it's just as effective as eating it. Now, consuming it, obviously you go through the digestion process, etc, etc, but being out in the sun is also just as effective from the outside to the inside. Okay, it's good for the skin cells. Next one, omega-3 supplements. So like I mentioned before about the salmon, the olive oil, the fats, same goes for omega-3s. You also might get from CLA, but I'm not entirely sure, I don't know. But what I would say is go for the omega-3, 6 and 9s. So you got the ones from the fish, you got the ones from the seeds. Okay, and the other one from the olive oils. Okay, that's the three type of omega 3s, 6s and 9s. Okay, so try and go for the healthy fats, but be sure to consume them more in your diet and use this as like an alternative on the end. Okay. Number 3, kind of, right, this one you might find quite strange, creatine. Why does creatine? Well, because creatine has that performance enhancing effect that has the ability to increase testosterone. How so? Adding muscle mass. Okay, so when you're adding more muscle, you're also increasing more testosterone. Okay, so that's where creatine has its play, has its role. Okay. Next one is ashwagandha. This is a natural way of increasing your testosterone. It's an herb found in India. It's superb, really. It's like a kind of ginseng. Okay, so then you've got the other two like Tonkat Ali, and you've got Korean ginseng that also play in the same role. So ashwagandha also have the ability to lower cortisol, which is great for increasing testosterone. Increase your sleep if you take it before bed. Increase your energy production. The list goes on and on. Okay, so if you are looking to increase your testosterone by 100 points, or adding Tonkat Ali and Korean ginseng on top, 300 points, that's quite a lot. Okay, so look to increase your testosterone with those if your testosterone levels is below average. D-aspartic acid is a type of amino acid. Okay, has the ability to also increase testosterone. There isn't too many studies on this, however, but we do know if you look in test boosters, you may find that you do see d-aspartic acid, but there's a certain range that will increase it. 1500 is usually the average for most test boosters. If you increase it to around 2500 to 3000 milligrams, you'll find more of an effect on your testosterone levels. So it could increase it by 100, 150 points. You add that on top of ashwagandha, Tonkat Ali, and you have it with Korean ginseng, you could have a heck of a stack right there. Last one, turmeric. Turmeric is a spice, obviously, like the rest, like the ginger, like the paprika. Has its effects, but also has a detox effects on the liver as well. So be sure to add in turmeric if you want to protect the liver and keep your testosterone in check. But yeah, it's a good way of making sure your body is as healthy as possible. Turmeric is one of the best supplements out there, so be sure to use that. Tip number 5, staying active. Now, being an active individual is obviously a great big part of life. You want to stay active, both cardio and weight training. Okay, obviously they both play different in slow and fast twitch muscle fibers, but both play a major role in the heart, which is the main muscle in the body. Obviously you need to keep that functioning. So be sure to stay active. It's a great way of having your dopamine levels up on the sky high. As long as you got that, your testosterone level should be in the range it should be. Number 6, avoid your fast food, processed foods, sugary foods, and more. Okay, so for example, you want to try and go for the healthy alternative. Okay, you want to try and walk over to the fridge full of vegetables. You don't want to walk over to the fridge full of brownies, full of like potato chips and stuff. You don't want that. Okay, so try and stay away from as much fast food as possible. Obviously, you can have it now and then. There's no harm, but don't try and make your diet full of it. Okay, so for example, if you want to have potato chips, like chips, or you want to have like Doritos or something, opt in for more popcorn. Okay, have popcorn because it's lower dense in calories, better for you as well. Also contains fiber, keeps you fuller for longer, and it's just better for your overall health. But yeah, just try and stay away from the fast food best possible. It has been proven to lower testosterone due to the trans fats and the stuff they put it in it, obviously. But yeah, just be mindful of what you eat, really. Last one, final one, tip number 7, and you're going to be fascinated by this one because I was when I found this one out. Have more time in the bed. Enjoy your bedtime. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. Alright, so basically more sex. Alright, having more of that two time does increase testosterone if the prolonged period. Okay, so it's going to have that slight increase in testosterone when you first do it, by like that really like small temporary amount, but it will go back to normal after. But doing it not only on a daily basis, but maybe every 2 to 3 days, often, you will see an increase in testosterone over time. But when you stop doing it, your test levels will go back down to normal range. So you've got to be sure really to keep it going. But yeah, just don't avoid it. Honestly, it's a myth. None of that, no masturbation, nothing like that will decrease testosterone. Okay, that's the whole big myth. Just do it if you want to do it, but just don't do it around your training, because you might tire yourself out too much. Or you might be one of those people that have a lot of energy before and feel really good in the gym. How do you know? It depends on you. But if you're too tired, obviously there's something wrong. You need to go and get checked by the doctor. But otherwise, have fun. And that about wraps it up, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. Just be sure, be mindful of what you do in your life. You don't want the testosterone converting to estrogen, because that's not the ideal way of life, really, because you're just going to feel lethargic, you're going to feel tired all the time, your sex drive's going to be down. Okay, so even when you're dieting down for a show, you want to try and keep that testosterone as high as possible. That's where the ashwagandha, Korean ginseng, that all comes in, and it plays a really major role, just making sure your diet's in check. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope everything become useful to you. Yeah, so please like and subscribe to our channel, press the notification button on the side for more updates and videos, and yeah, please follow our Instagram at CarterFitness90, and we'll see you in the next one.